My name is Coach Rose Peterson. I'm a certified personal trainer, both in person and online, and a certified nutrition coach. I help moms locally in Las Vegas, Nevada, and all over the world shed the weight holding them back from becoming their most energetic and authentic version of themselves so they can go after their deepest desires alongside of motherhood. You can find me at fitandconfidentmoms.com. Hey, you guys. Okay, we're missing somebody. Hold on. There she is.
There she goes.
We are live here on Facebook, on YouTube. This is Coach Rose for today's edition of Tuesday Talks. And even though it's my birthday and it's the big 4-0, I still wanted to be here. I wanted to make sure I show up for you guys every Tuesday. Like I said, there's only literally since I started this Tuesday Talks about 15 months ago, I've only skipped 1 month, and I learned that I never want to skip again. I took a break in July, but I love these things. I love staying connected to my audience, to the women who I serve, and today is a very special treat. So thank you so much if you're here live. And I see people popping into the room, so please type live if you're watching live and type replay if you're watching the replay. This helps me so much, and it helps other women because Facebook will say, hey, there's a live going on and people are commenting. There's a party going on. So the more comments you have on here, the more it's going to show on other people's feeds. And today's topic is going to be all about fit and fabulous after 40. So we're going to talk about all the things that if you're not 40 yet, you have to look forward to. And some great things to come from some fabulous women. But since it is my birthday, I have a guest host. Her name is Patranya, 3-time Emmy award-winning journalist, former news anchor, and founder of Patranya Media LLC. So I'm going to let you take over, Patranya, and do the rest of the show.
Thank you so much, Rose, and happy birthday. I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite assignments, I have to say, because I get to celebrate you and celebrate my friend and also celebrate all these other women in the room who are so special in their own ways. And we're here to celebrate Rose and to talk about, I think, one of the topics that Rose touches on. If you know Rose and know what she does, her business is all about nutrition and fitness, but basically being our best self, right? Whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, it's all a big package. And sometimes it's a lot. And that's why she is that coach, that person that people can rely on, and just come to her as a resource, as a friend, as a cheerleader, as a supporter. And this is what it's all about. And this is why we're here on your birthday, Rose, because you've been there for so many people out there. We want to be here for you on your birthday to help you celebrate. And we brought on so many these other fabulous women who are joining us in the room today to share maybe some of their wisdoms and what they, as they're getting older. Some are not quite 40 yet, but that's okay. We still love you. Over 40, under 40, I think we're all kind of growing together. And I think we just get better with age. And I think that is a theme of this party, is that no matter how old you are, we can always learn something new every day. And that's what Rose does with all of her clients. And that's why we're here to share that with you. So I wanted to, Rose, so we'll come back and talk with her in just a little bit, but I wanted to introduce and let our guests who are joining us today on the show introduce themselves. So I'm going to start with Jada Willis. Hi, Jada. How are you?
Hi, Patranya. Hi, Rose. Hi, everyone. I am so honored to be here on Tuesday Talks. I love Tuesday Talks. And so the fact that I get to hang out on this very special one means a lot to me. So thank you for having me. I am Jada Willis. I am the key personal stylist and owner of Taylor St. Clair Style here in Las Vegas. I have the awesome privilege to work with women who are ready to level themselves up via their closets. So I get to help superheroes look like the superheroes they are.
That's awesome. That's great. That's wonderful. So yeah, we'll come back and talk to Jada and talk about how she met Rose, that relationship up in a little bit. But first, let's get to Jill Farmar of Jill Farmar Coaching. Nice to meet you. First time I met Jill today. Tell us a little bit about you, Jill.
So nice to meet you. All right, am I yelling? Because I'm excited. All right, so I'm Jill Farmar. I am based in Las Vegas as well. I'm a life coach, yoga teacher, and I call myself an empowerment priestess. I help women connect with their inner goddess and become the next great version of their true selves. So that is just my joy, celebrating womanhood at every age, at every stage, and really embracing our whole selves, the light and the shadow, and the past and the present and the future. If you need some love, I got it for you.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel that love coming through the screen. So thank you so much, Jill. And
Yeah.
last but not least, Sarah Davies. Hi, how are you?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sarah Davies. Happy birthday, Rose. I am a director in supply chain for the Kroger company. So those of you in Las Vegas, Smith's, hopefully you get your groceries and gas there. And then across the enterprise, King Soopers, Fry's, Ralph's, Food for Less. So I cover Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and Nevada for supply chain. And super excited to be here today. And but can't think of a better way to celebrate Rose's birthday with her.
No, it's great. And when Rose invited me to do this show, and for everybody watching, she said she wanted to pick women to be part of her birthday brunch that we're calling this. People that have, inspired her in some way, whether what they do, and how they inspire other people. So, Rose, the birthday girl, why don't I have you start with this and talk to me a little bit about each of our guests here today, and how you met them, and how you become inspired by them, especially now that you're reaching this milestone. We call it milestone, you're 40. Why is it so important to kind of come together with these women today?
Yeah, I love it. This is such a great question. And this morning, as I was thinking about like how I've evolved as a person, and as I think about myself in my 20s, I thought about myself in my 30s and where I'm at today. And one of the things that I learned in aging is I wanted to surround myself with people I wanted to be like people who I were inspired by, or people who there was something about them that I wanted more of. And that's why I have all of you ladies here, is because I feel like what you bring to this conversation, other people will be as uplifted as I have. Really quick, we're going to pop Lynn in, but I'll continue. I'm just going to add her to the screen. So what really inspires me about, we'll start with Jada because she's at the top, is that Jada can see the best in every single person. And no matter what mood someone's in, just being in her presence, she's just very uplifting. And I think sometimes as women, we don't recognize ourselves and we don't celebrate or honor ourselves sometimes on a day-to-day basis. And just being with Jada, she just reminds us that we are all superheroes, especially the women, and in some way in our lives. And we should recognize and honor ourselves about that. And she makes people feel good just being around her. So Jada, we first met at, probably at a women's empowerment event. And later on, she became a client training with me. And it's been an amazing, rewarding experience being able to coach her. Brittany says, amen. Jada is so amazing.
Britt, thanks.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Jada, do you remember, Jada, do you remember when you met Rose?
I do. We first met through the one we're calling the glue down there in the corner, Lynn Marie. She is the connector. And I remember just having this great conversation with this woman who was like just sharp and incredibly dope. She said that she worked at a gym and what she did. And I was just like, you're doing all of that? And she just this very cute small frame and all of the things that like working at this gym she was telling me about. I was just like, okay, girl. Okay, keep talking. And we had a chance to connect again at another event, a beautiful one. And that's when she just said, hey, let's talk. And ever since then, she has been one of the amazing ways that I've transformed in 40. I've had the privilege of working with Coach for a year now, and the beauty that I want to bring out in other people, she helped bring out in me in this specific way in my strength. I didn't know it was so strong. But the way that Coach did, and I tell everybody who will listen that the way Coach coaches is from a place of love, from a place of a girlfriend, and but really wanting to see you succeed. It's like all of the things I want in the circle that is around me. So to have found Coach, I just feel like I'm on top of the world. And like I said, I will shout it from the mountaintops how amazing you are, Rose, in what you do and how you do it. That's the beauty. There are a lot of coaches out here, there are a lot of nutritionists, but how you do what you do is the reason that I want the world to know who you are and to learn under your tutelage.
Yeah, no,
Thank you so
I mean,
much.
yeah. And, I think that's the reason we're here. And part of my work with Rose, I get to help kind of tell her story, which has been really amazing. And, I always say there's something unique about everyone. And there's, Jada, you kind of touch on what's unique about Rose and why people hire her. That's for a specific thing, like how she can be that friend as well, So, but, before we move on, I know Lynn Marie hopped on. And we wanted to make sure we introduce you, Lynn Marie, if you want to unmute yourself and introduce yourself to everybody so we can say hi to you.
Hi, friends. Hi, Coach. I love how Jada calls you Coach. I will mute from time to time. You all know I've got a new baby here, and so she hops in and out with my mom, and so I might let her cry. I might go on mute, but thanks for having me. I feel honored anytime I get to be with a group of amazing women. And I know everyone except for you and Sarah, but I know if you're connected by way of Rose, how we're all connected, then you're amazing and wonderful. And I just can't wait to get to know you as well. So thank you for having me on. I feel amazing to be here and to shine with all of you. And happy Rose Day.
Yes,
Keep coming up roses. Me and the girls that used to train with her, we called our group Coming Up Roses. That was our little team name. So yes, it all comes up roses when you're with Rose.
I love it. I love it. Well, I want to give a chance to everybody to just say a little bit how you met Rose and how you inspired her by her. So Jill, why don't we start with you and then we'll go to Sarah.
Yeah, well, thank you, Lynn Marie, for connecting me to Rose. We met at one of Lynn's events, and it was, what did you call it? It was coffee and like amazing.
CEO Coffee and Conversation.
CEO Coffee and Conversations is so awesome. And I met Jada there as well. It was like this like vortex of like connection. It was so wonderful. And here we are years later, still rising together. It's so amazing. So Rose, So what I love so much about Rose and the impact immediately when I met Rose is I just felt her heart. She walked into this beautiful event. Thank you again, Lynn, for hosting it. And I could just feel the passion in her to make a difference in the world, to do big things. And we connected on the level of motherhood, I remember. And I've been homeschooling my girls. I have a soon-to-be 9-year-old and soon-to-be 12-year-old. And at the time, we were just talking about just what it's like to juggle all the things and have these aspirations and be deeply committed to motherhood. And I just want to celebrate and acknowledge your heart more than anything. And to have watched you evolve since then is super inspiring to me. And to see all the platforms that you have, the foundations that keep on building upon. It's just like you have this extremely it's like a train, like with momentum. You're just going and you're pulling people with you. And that's the most amazing thing too, is like, you're not just like, see ya. You're like, yes. And so I feel extremely grateful to be invited here today. And thank you for inspiring me and inspiring so many women. And the way that you're showing up consistently, like you said, like 1 week you took off, that's huge. That's huge. And I celebrate you.
Aw, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And then before we get to Rose to kind of share her thoughts, I wanted to hear about Sarah, because I actually heard about Sarah through Rose. Rose is telling me about, getting into the business world and corporate world. And, Sarah was one of the people that really kind of inspired her to how she's really grown and become a leader in your workspace. So, so Sarah, tell us a little bit about your connection with Rose.
Sure. So it's fun to hear all the different connections you all have with Rose. The first time I met Rose, actually, she was in a Facebook group offering 1 hour free training. That's how she got us all in. 1 hour
That
free
works.
for free
That
training
works.
for
Yes.
a lot of hours of not free hard
Mhm.
work. So anyways, she was the trainer at Lifetime, and I had, had a baby. I don't know, like we all have. After you have a baby, it's, a couple of years later, you're like, oh, I probably need to lose some of that baby weight. Anyways, started working out with Rose, and we just became good friends. And as we got to know each other, like we started having most of our workout sessions would be about leadership. And she would started to ask my questions about, like, well, how do you do this? And how do you do that? And you're a mom of 2 kids and work 50 or 60 hours a week and travel. And I don't know how you do it all. You just do it. But we talked a lot about leadership. And also, I think it was when the wheels started turning of like doing something different and doing something more. And Rose was like, I kind of like have these ideas, but I'm super comfortable. And she was flirting with the idea of having her own business. And we talked a lot about like what it would take to do that. She was dabbling in things outside of the day-to-day grind at the gym. And then the pandemic hit, and it was the catalyst for her to make and take the moves she needed to make. So we didn't get to actually see each other for about a year. But more recently, we've started training again together, and she'd always stayed a friend to me. And, I just love her to pieces personally and professionally. And she's pushed me to, physically be stronger and do things I didn't think were possible about doing. And we have lots of good leadership and life chats as well. So that's a little bit about Rose and I's connection. But I will tell you, she came to my work yesterday, and I work at a warehouse with 525 men and 3 women. And she brought cupcakes, and they were like, wait, so you have a personal trainer that brings you cupcakes? I'm confused. I was like, that's a
the
very
best
rare
way.
moment for Rose. But that was just the fun free marketing. We had the buzz about it today. They wanted to know whose cupcakes were in the freezer and why my trainer brought me cupcakes. So Rose is amazing. Happy birthday. And I'm honored to be on your panel of speakers today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's great to get to know everyone. I know people are watching. And Rose, before people, you want to let them know that you actually have a fun giveaway as part of this conversation,
I
right?
do. So one of the things that I think a lot of people struggle with, myself included, and a lot of my clients that come to me, is getting water. And we're in Las Vegas, and usually in the summer we think about it, but when the temperature is cool, we don't. So one of my things is I love cups with texture. So like this is mine this is like a true rare find. There's a lot of people out there, type in the comments if you're one of them, because I'm curious, that are like big Starbucks cup fans, and they go to the store at 4 a.m. and they'll go to multiple stores. And a lot of people have made a true business out of it by reselling these because they have special editions. And so when I realized, like, 1, they're just so pretty, Brittany says me, but 2, the texture of feeling this cup, there's something about it that just makes you want to reach back out to it. So I got on the bandwagon of searching during these releases, but I would save them all for my clients. So as I would have and I have Sarah, I have one to give you too, but as I was collecting these, I was like, where can I find these more special? So I actually went to the Tivoli Village event that I think Sarah may have told me about recently. They have these artist fairs, once a month vendor fairs. And there was a woman there that had these cups, but then I could brand them special. So I got a first order. There's 10 of them coming out. They're black, but look like this, but black. Jada's got one. But instead of Starbucks, you'll have a logo from me. So no one even has them. Like, I don't even have one in my hand yet. I just have a photo from the lady who made it. So we are giving away 1 cup randomly to whoever comments. So far, we've got a few people who have commented. All you got to do is say hello. And we'll randomly pick someone from the comments to win a cup. So type in the chat, say hello, and I'd love to give one of these away to someone. And if you haven't used one of these, really give it a shot. There's something about it that really does. When I refill this, I will refill this 3-4 times in a day. And if I don't have it, I'll drink less water. It's just magical.
No, that's awesome. And so, yeah, comment it, put in the comments if you want to get that mug. Now that looks real cool. I should comment and try to get one too,
Yeah.
for sure. So, so Rose, you know, maybe I'll start, because this is about like wisdom and stuff. And I actually recently found a really good quote. And I want you guys to think about this as I'm talking about, because I love quotes. I don't know if you guys all do too. But when it comes to um, wisdom, I always love a reminder every day. And I just got one. Actually, it was my birthday too this month. Rose and I actually April babies. So, I got a birthday little card from someone. And this quote actually says, and it's like a little card that she gave me. And I don't know if you can see it. It basically said, life does not have to be perfect to be wonderful. And that like really spoke to me like this birthday for some reason, because we always have to think things have to be so ideal. You have to have the perfect body, right? Or you have to, whatever, for life to be perfect. But it doesn't, and it still can be really wonderful. So I don't know, that spoke to me this month. So I just kind of want to see what all of you are thinking. What brings you kind of wisdom and motivation this month? Rose, do you want to start? Do you want to what's kind of like your favorite kind of saying or phrase or anything like that?
Yeah. So one thing that I really want to probably put out there is that if there is a change that you want to see in your life, then you should surround yourself around the people you want to be like. And that's pretty much, I said that probably in the beginning and why you guys are here. But, when I started my fitness journey and wanted to learn more about lifting, I joined a gym about lifting. And then when I opened up my business, I found myself being attracted to other women who are also leaders in their own business. And I just wanted to be around them and talk entrepreneurship and leadership. And that's kind of what's connected me with Sarah so much. And Lynn, we've had a lot of boss conversations as well. And I love, Jill, that you recognized how you were saying, as I moved up, I would bring other women up with me. And it's so true, because I just feel like there's so much room at the top. There's so much room to be successful. Why not pull up your friends around you, like from the things that you're benefiting from? So if you are in a place where you're feeling like you're getting older and things aren't getting better, I would say seek out the people around you that are doing well, or even if you don't even know who they are, place yourself where they're going to be, because that's where your inspiration will lie, and you'll start to want to be more like that person. And then on the note of like being 40, I had new headshots done 2 weeks ago, and Levi Walker said to me, when I turned 40, somebody told me this. And I was like, I've been repeating it all over because it's just so true. He said, most people live to about 80, especially with medical technology now. So guess what? You have the second half of your life for a do-over. So now you have 40 more years to do whatever you want and create the life that you want. And I was like, thank you for sharing that with me, because it's so true. And I feel that every single day that I wake up and create how I want to live. And I think about the past and how I was living a story that I told myself that wasn't serving me. And as I got older, I've learned how to honor myself. And I got this from Jada, the words honoring yourself, on walking a path that aligns with you and honors your story and creates your story. So I know I kind of went on side tangents, but that's what I really hope that people watching get from here today, is that things get better and better as you age, and every year is another chance to do things the way you want them to be done, because life just keeps getting better.
That's great. Jada, how about you? What's your piece of, life advice or something that you've gathered that you think would be really good, especially for women, over 40?
Yeah, it's. I mean, Rose touched on it. That is the thing that I've been living by for a little while now, and that is honoring yourself. Um, we all have this. We all were born with a gift, talents, gifts, skills, whatever you like to call them. But they're yours for a reason, because you're supposed to do great things with them. But that means also that you don't have to be perfect in everything, right? You just have to honor your gift and honor yourself in that. And so I think as moms, we do a lot for a lot of people and we forget our own magic. And we, in this stage at 40, we need to remember that magic. In my line of work, I do my best not only to dress a woman as she believes she wants to see herself, but also to remind her, like, girl, you are amazing. You are a boss. You are a goddess. You're a walking piece of art, right? And all of the things that you do. And so you need to tell yourself that. And how do you do that? So in walking with and working out with Rose and working with my clients, even, you know, passing things on to my children, like making sure you know that you make yourself happy in the ways that, you know, or don't hurt anyone else, right? But make yourself happy. You need to do those things.
Love it. Love it. That's great. And Jill, I know you said you're not quite 40 yet, and you know, you look 21, so I'm not even gonna say. But talk to us about you. I mean, what you kind of live by. What's kind of, you know, you empower so many other women as well, but what's kind of the biggest thing that you want to put out there in the universe, in your world?
So a couple of things are kind of bubbling up into my heart. So the first thing I want to share just for me is one of my life disclaimers. I have like a disclaimer that I reserve the right to change my mind about anything at any time. And that's the sovereignty that we have in our own selves. And that's part of, you know, everything that I share in the world. I speak from an angle of calling it goddess work, because we are all goddesses and we are all our own unique expression of that inner goddess. And as we age and as we journey through, like, there's different goddesses we have to pull out. Sometimes we're the warrior, sometimes we're the mother, sometimes we're the badass CEO, sometimes we're, you know, just like the princess. So it's all there. And so that was the first thing I wanted to share as far as a way that I approach life that really supports me. And I think on the tail of that idea of reserving the right to change your mind is that mindset work that Rose talks about so much, that is so very much part of, you know, empowering ourselves and up-leveling in all ways. So I love that this event is just a message to everybody that life gets better. Life gets better, and that's a belief that we get to choose to believe or not. So if we ingrain that in ourselves now, it changes the way you feel every day. And the way you feel dictates how you take actions every day. And the actions you take dictate how your life like unfolds. So it's just starting with that choice to believe something empowering that just ripples through everything. Just wanted to breathe that in for a second. And then the last piece, because I'm so excited, just to share a bit from my goddess work. There's in like actual traditional goddess studies, like studying different goddesses, there's a goddess known as the triple goddess, and she represents the different phases of womanhood. So first she's the maiden, and then she's the mother, and then there's the crone. All have gifts to serve the world. All have roles, and the mother archetype, her expression, is also the queen. And so when we shift out of that queendom, that's maybe like towards 60, and I just want us to celebrate turning 60 too. Let's celebrate turning 60 now. Like, I know that's where we're going, and that's going to be awesome and amazing, but we're still in our queendom. So I just want to, I want to just offer that to the space of the 40s and the 50s, even like you are in your like strongest authority. And so for me, as a soon to be 38-year-old, I'm looking into that 40 to 60-year-old like range as inspiration. So the fact that you're all showing up today here, choosing to freaking celebrate this chapter, inspires me. So I just want to offer that as my humble 30, soon to be 38-year-old self, knowing that life does get better. And I'm right there with you to believe that forever.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Jill. Thank you. That's amazing. All right. I'm going to go to Sarah to share her thoughts on, whatever age you're at, obviously. I think there's some, sometimes I think their advice that whatever age you are, you can really take away. Right, Sarah?
Yeah, so I just turned 40 in February,
Oh.
late February. So I'm joining the next club. But it's interesting listening to the other ladies talk. I do a lot of mentoring with younger women in my organization who are trying to carve a career in a predominantly male workforce. And that's kind of been the story the last 17 years that I've been in supply chain. Before Amazon was cool and before we had a pandemic, nobody knew what a supply chain was. But it was literally 99% males, white males running supply chain in the history of ever, aside from the folks working in the warehouses, right? So as I've grown my career up, I face a lot of obstacles. And as I coach and develop women, specifically, I have a soft spot for that. And I have a lot of great male leaders as well. But I kind of give a couple of key lessons that I firmly believe have helped me blossom into the leader I am today. First one is stop apologizing. Like, women are notorious for apologizing for existing, for everything. I'm so sorry, I need to sit in that seat. Just say, excuse me. I'm so sorry, can I get by here? Pardon me. Like, stop apologizing for everyone. I'm so sorry to bug you. Do you have a minute? Just say, hey, Sarah, do you have a minute? So I tell them, like, you don't even know how many times a day you apologize for everything. Stop apologizing. It doesn't mean you're a rude person. You exist here and you belong here. Don't apologize, because then you perpetuate the need to ask for permission as a female. And then the second thing is, and I think this happened a lot when I became a mother, is as you get older, like, it's easy to make friends in high school, and because you're all the same age. And as you get older, it's kind of like dating. You're like on a first date with another mom or another female. You're like, do I vibe? Are we gonna have a second date? Are we not? It can be weird. You think, well, we both have kids, we're gonna get along, right? And that's not the case, because you could have different parenting styles. One could be kind of hands off. Are they alive? Are they good? The other one's hovering. And so you might not be compatible. So the other thing I always say is, like, you're not for everyone, and that's okay. Like, you are not for everyone. And that took me, I don't know, upwards of 40 years to accept, because I have a very bold personality. I'm opinionated, I'm bossy, right? But I also have a great niche. I have my people, I have my tribe that I have the moms that I gel with. I have the professional women and men that I gel with. But you're not for everyone, and that is okay to not be accepted for everyone. And that took me a lot of heartbreak and breaking up in friendships and men and other mothers, and not feeling accepted in pockets that you feel like, is it me? Like, we all have work to do on ourselves, but, like, is it me? And then sometimes as I've gotten older, I realized, like, you're just not for everyone, and that's okay, because as long as you're being true to you, there are people you are for, and you can build a great life around finding that tribe.
Yeah, I love that.
My 40 stuff.
I love that so much, because I think a lot of women, being liked is so important, right? You want to be liked by everyone. And I think part of getting over for me, and I agree with you, Sarah, like, you start to realize not everybody will like you. You know what I mean? Even if you're the best person in the world and the most, giving, generous, kind, there's always going to be someone. And I think, from my experience being in television, you had people who love you and people who did not like you. And I always tell people, if you're going to have people who love you, then you have to accept that there'll be people who don't like you as well. So, you have to do you, just do you and be proud of it. And the people in your tribe, it makes you appreciate them so much more, because of the people who are with you. So I guess that's my 2 cents with that, but I really agree with you there. Thank you. Yeah. And Lynn, finally, let's hear from you, and I know you've inspired Rose in your own way too, but talk to me about what inspires you. What are some of the things that you can pass on this special day to all the women out there, including Rose?
Ooh, that sounds so heavy. I got this. What can I pass on? So many great things have been said. Well, I'll say something that Rose said was that when she decided how she wanted to do something, she surrounded herself with such people or such experiences. And I can say that, in my 30s, looking forward to turning 40, I was surrounded and I looked up to people who were in that next chapter that I wanted to do it like that. It was never like, oh, I'm turning 40, I'm getting old, or I'm getting slow, or life is, life is great. It only gets better. It only gets greater later. And one of my personal and professional mentors is actually we're sisters by heart, but cousins by blood. Her name is Shar, and she's probably on right now, but she turned 40 and like, it was amazing. And she did 40 days of turning 40. Like, she just did the thing. And it was a celebration of life. Like, how many people who don't get to 40, or how many people get after 40 and just want one more year to, like, getting older is a blessing. So number one, life is a blessing, and every day is a present and a gift, and use those gifts, like Jada said, and, surround yourself with those like-minded people. And I love what Sarah said about, it may have been a 40-year path to get to. Everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to be your cup of tea, and vice versa. And that is absolutely okay, because there's so many more bags of tea that you can pick from that you will just, vibe with and brew with and elevate with. So really wonderful. I wanted to, I created an acronym. So ladies, my CEO, Coffee Moms, I'm all about an acronym to make something come together and help something, stick, and that you remember to make it memorable. So I created one for this occasion and around, how do we go about, turning 40, getting better, just leveling up in life and enjoying and celebrating ourselves. I made it around Rose. So I'll be quick, but R is rise to the occasion. So you're turning 40, rise to the occasion. That is no reason to slow down. That does not mean, this next chapter is a slower or more boring, or no, it's everything. It is a next level chapter. So everybody rise up to that occasion. Rose, rise up to turning 40. You do it and have always done it fabulously since I've known you. So you're going to do 40 like you do everything else. You're going to follow your heart and be amazing and bring others with you on that journey. So we're happy to celebrate you. And then always, optimism is the only option. We have enough things telling us to be negative. We have enough reasons to be negative, but you have to decide. It's a choice. Optimism is the only option. You're going to have your moments. You're going to have your times where you want to, I got to take a breath. I need to cry a minute, and that's absolutely okay. But then you have the mindset and you have the option and the choice and the energy that you can change that and decide optimism is the only option. That's what's going to get me through and help me push through whatever I'm going through. And then S, I have seize the moment, not seize the day, seize the moment, because a lot happens in a day, okay? And sometimes I just need to get through this moment. This moment is big. Let me push through this, and then I will think about the next hour, 2 hours, whatever the case. So go moment to moment. Don't hold yourself to, this has to be the best day. This has to be the perfect day. This moment right here, this is what matters. Let's get after it. And then E, the cheerleader in me, I'm calling out my cheerleaders. If you remember this cheer, elevate your mind, get yourself together. When I say 1, 2, 3. But I added exercise as well in honor of Rose. But when you're with her, you elevate your mind, you exercise your body, you do 1, 2, 3, and do this with me. And so just remember, get that movement, because first, start of, having a great day, having a great moment, it's starting with you moving your body. Get that energy moving within you, right? Then get that mind moving, elevate that mind, think on things that are higher. So keep your body moving, keep that exercise in your life. For me right now, it's a walk after I drop off my boys from school before I get back to the baby. It's like wherever I can fit it in. I have a Bowflex over here. I try to get on it in between webinars and Zoom meetings, but exercise and elevate that mind, get yourself together. And, when I say 1, 2, 3, we can do a little square fingers.
Can you guys all tell that Lynn's an author? She's a writer. That was beautiful, Lynn. I love that so much. I'm going to remember that forever. I actually typed it in the chat, every single piece of it, so that I will remember later.
You're going to have it too, so stay tuned.
Okay, very cool.
So we're going to wrap it up, but before we go, we want to sweeten this birthday for Rose. So I think everyone has a little maybe sweet treat to kind of toast to Rose. I stole this from my conference, so I kind of made my own cupcake. But anyways, I wanted to join the party.
Honest, mine's in the freezer.
Listen, this has been enjoyed during this conversation.
I was going to say I just ate one a second ago.
Good-looking piece of cupcake. Sorry, this is what
Well,
Thank you for hooking us up on your birthday. Like, that was the best gift ever, showing up with cupcakes.
Right.
Yes. Aren't they beautiful? The
Rose, I gotta be honest. Mine's in my freezer, but I'm gonna eat it as soon as we're done, in your honor.
That's fine. And they're amazing and awesome and beautiful. When I came across these, and I'm like, oh my gosh, rose cupcakes, and I can order them in my branded colors. And when I saw Jill, she's like, this is the exact color of your lipstick that you wear. I'm like, yes, I have this power lipstick, which I'm not wearing right now, but I do when I compete or other things. And that's exactly the same exact color. So the baker nailed it. So she did great. There they are. Yeah.
Who's the baker?
I'll get you the information. I found her on Facebook. So she, somebody posted her bouquet of cupcakes, which I did get a bouquet for me and my family. There's like maybe nine blooms that she styled that look like literally someone delivered me a bouquet. Aww. So I'll share a photo. But yes. And so I found that and I'm like, oh my God, I got to get that for my birthday. Like I'm ordering my own cake. So
you do whatever you want to do, girl.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
You got it just like you wanted it too.
Boom.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And I really hope that whoever is watching really took something away from this talk. And each and every one of you guys inspire me so much. And I didn't get to touch on Patranya, but same reason why I hired her. You know, I was just scrolling through. I think I was Facebook friends with somebody and they tagged Patranya and they said, oh, I got to see my Emmy award-winning friend speak. And I was like, who's that? Like, I literally did not even know who Patranya was. And I was like, who is that? And I clicked on her profile and I just read more. And I'm like, literally instantaneously, I was like, I'm going to work with her. And I like messaged, I didn't even know much about her, but I was like, I messaged her and then that was it. We've been working together. It's been awesome since January and it's been amazing. And I'm so inspired with Patranya and how she makes it look so easy, like interviewing, talking, this whole thing. And you're just a blessing in my life. And thank you so much for hosting.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. So nice to meet all of you, Jada, Lynn Marie, Sarah, and Jill. I hope we get to hang out again soon in another brunch somewhere. Sometime.
Yes.
I miss you guys.
Yes, miss you too.
Happy birthday,
all right.
Rose.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Rose.
And thank you for all the viewers who are watching and hanging out. I will pick a winner later today. And if you're watching the replay, still comment because I will probably pick a winner tomorrow, actually. So if you're watching the replay, make sure you say hello. And until next time, you know where to be. Tuesday Talks next Tuesday at 1:00. Oh, wait, I do have a slogan I usually say, and I'm like totally thrown off. But until next time, this is Coach Rose rooting for you to try something new in 2022. See you later.
Bye.